A job opening in the US is overloaded with the rejected applications because of small mistakes. The most common mistake is not using a standard US resume format. In this article, we will break down the standard US resume format and what should be included in it. A standard US resume format is usually similar to a one-page CV. An American resume format is documented in reverse chronological order, that is, the most recent work experience is listed first with the time frame and then the previous ones. The US standard resume starts with a summary or objective, followed by work history, education and qualifications, and skills. Things to include in a standard US format template. Format of the resume. The most popular and commonly accepted resume format is a reverse chronological order resume format, which highlights the work history and professional experiences. The functional resume format would be a better choice to showcase the skills and knowledge of fresh graduates. Resume header including contact information. The header section should include your name, contact phone number, and email. Career objective resume summary. Just below the header section, you should include a short, simple, and relevant career objective, not more than 4 to 6 sentences. But if you are an experienced professional, a resume summary is recommended instead of a career objective. Work history and experience section. In a US standard resume format, the employers want to see the most recent work experiences listed first. This section should include employer's name and location, designation, employment dates, maximum 5 to 6 bullet points of job responsibilities using action words. It is recommended to not to use work history prior to 15 years to keep the resume short and interesting to employer. Education section. Just after the work experience section, you should include your education and qualifications in this section. This section should include degree of school, college, institution name, location. It is recommended not to use GPA or grades, as the international grading system is different from those of the US. Skills section. It is recommended to list down both hard and soft skills you have, but only relevant to the job or useful to the employer. There is no point to list down all the skills you have, as they might not be useful or required by the employer. Additional sections. It is always nice to show extra information like interests and hobbies, languages. The relevancy in this information helps the employer to look at mental attributes and ambitions. Appearance of the standard US resume format. Here is a list to keep your standard US resume format clear and appealing. Use a line spacing of 1.15 so that the content of the resume does not look crowded. Use a margin of 1 inch on all sides of the pages. You should cover your resume length in 1 to 2 pages. It is recommended to use a font of 14 to 16 point font for resume section headings, while 12-point font for the body of the resume. You should leave some white spaces to make your resume readable. Things not to include in a standard US resume format. Here are the list of don'ts in a standard US resume format. Personal information. Never include any of the listed personal information in a US resume. Date of birth, marital status, number of children, sex, parents' names, personal identification numbers, picture, age, religion, country of origin, work authorization. Under federal law, it is illegal for employers to ask for proof of eligibility to work in the US until a job is offered. Therefore, never include a social security number or immigrant status in order to prove that you can work legally in US. Format of the phone number. You should add an American phone number if you have one. The format of the mobile phone number on a US resume should be like this. Full address on the resume. You should avoid using a complete/detailed address on a resume. It is advised to use the city plus the zip code on a resume. References on the resume. It is not recommended to add references on a resume. If an employer is interested, they will ask you to provide a reference.